Absolutely gorgeous, that sunrise.
We're so lucky to live here on Cape Cod where there are so many beautiful places and of course so many photographers out there. One such is being featured this month right here at Town Hall in the Artwork on Loan program.
That's right. Kat Szmit, who is a reporter and photographer for the Barnstable Patriot, so many of you may know her, recognize her writing. She covers sports among many other features within the paper, and it was just a delight to have her. I was thrilled that she wanted to be featured on the walls, and we spent some time chatting about what inspires her, what she hopes her photographs do for those that are able to take a peek at them. We do talk one story. I asked if she had a favorite photo or time, and she talks about one young woman, and you'll see it in the piece. I remember reading this article. It was November 25th, 2011, and it wasn't even one of our volleyball girls. It was someone else from another team that so took Kat. She was so captivated by her, and she told me the backstory is that there were people taunting her. And of course, as they do at big volleyball games, they taunt the teams. But unfortunately, they were taunting this young lady as well. She did not let it bother her, and Kat really captures the essence of this young woman's enthusiasm and excitement for the win, and she talks about that as well. And again, that story was November of 2011.
Wow. Well, definitely looking forward to seeing this. So let's go right to our art segment for this Friday morning. Without further ado, good morning.
I'm Melissa Chartrand. I'm here with Kat Szmit. We're up here in the Town Hall hearing room. Behind us are Kat's beautiful photos, because Kat, you're our Artwork on Loan featured photographer, featured artist this month.
Yes.
It's very, very exciting to have you here. Now, some of our viewers may know you and may know your name and see you around town because you are a reporter and photographer for the Barnstable Patriot. But we are thrilled to be able to share some of your beautiful photos here with us today.
Thank you. I'm excited to have my works on display at Town Hall.
Very exciting, and especially since you come through, you know how many people do come through and get to look at the walls, and it sparks the conversation as well.
It's really exciting and a little overwhelming, but good.
It is very good. So let's talk a little bit about how you got into photography.
Sure. It started when I was in my teens. I grew up in a small town in New Hampshire on the Connecticut River called Walpole, and my parents gave me a camera and said, have fun. And Walpole is scenic and incredible, so my hobby was to drive around town, take roads I'd never been down, and take pictures of everything. It's one of those towns with the old-fashioned stone walls that go off into the distance and the Civil War era farmland, so it was just amazing. And that kept going through my life. And when I moved to the Cape, it was like, oh my gosh, it's a photographer's playground.
Yes,
yay!
absolutely.
So it's just every chance I get, I'm out with the camera. Anywhere I go, it's with me. And even the smallest things will catch my eye, and I'll be like, click, take a picture.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you as well, is what inspires you, or there's certain, because what is your favorite subject to photograph? But it doesn't seem as there is one. It seems as though whatever there is, it just speaks to you.
If I had to pick a favorite, I think the two things that really get me on Cape Cod are the seashore and the sunsets. They're just incredible. I was driving home last night and I was like, look at those clouds. And that never fails to impress me, to make me extremely grateful for where I'm living, and will often inspire me to go out once a year or twice a year. I will literally drive the whole of Route 6A to Orleans and take pictures of the water and the scenery, and it's just so inspiring and calming at the same time.
That's magnificent to hear. And then I would imagine that those looking at your photographs, that's what you're hoping that they take from that as well?
I hope so. I hope that they get a sense of appreciation for all the different beauties that can be found on the Cape. I mean, like, for example, this was taken at the Mashpee Wampanoag Powwow, which I recommend everyone get to at least once. And then there's the bogs, and there's Fagawi, which is amazing in its own right. You see the boats going out on the water, and it's just an incredible sight.
And as you say, this, for the powwow, it's not just taking a picture of people enjoying the powwow. The photograph here is an up-close of one of the headdresses and the feathers.
This is a piece of regalia that is worn, actually, I think, on the back. And just the regalia, just the scenery alone at the powwow, aside from the dancing, is incredible. And to know that it's a piece of Cape Cod history that has been around for centuries, that's just mind-blowing. And I would encourage everyone to take advantage of that. It's right here. It's in your own backyard. You don't have to leave the Cape to go find it somewhere else.
And what continues to inspire you? Are there others that you work with or that you have followed that have led to, you know, this passion, continued passion?
I am inspired by many other photographers. In my work, I'm inspired by a fellow photographer who works for the Cape Cod Times, Ron Schlurb. He is just an incredible sports photographer, and I'm always gaining inspiration from him. Ansel Adams, of course, is obvious, but I am inspired also by children. I think children need to be given a camera as often as possible. My nephew had a camera when he was about 6, and the pictures that he took with this little digital were incredible. And it inspires me to look at the world in a different way.
I was just going to say, from different angles and different perspectives, for sure. Is there anything, the process, the physical process of the photographs itself, Kat, to use a special kind of camera or lens, or do anything post-production? Or these?
I use a Nikon D3000, mostly because my budget doesn't allow me to have the really awesome cameras. And I use Picasa on Google, which is a free program. I also use iPhoto. And try to minimally process. I don't know how to use I'm not iPhoto. I don't know how to use Photoshop. And I like to do as little as possible to a final photo.
Okay.
I know that there are some that, like, I just got some in the mail, a calendar that has the new high-def looking photos. Those are great, but I like simple. As simple as possible.
And now, where can our viewers go to see some more? We certainly want them to come here to check out the photos, both in the Town Hall hearing room and Selectmen's conference room.
Yes, please.
And actually, we will have a closing reception on the 18th from, I think we said,
of January.
18th of January. And more information will follow on that, but they can come and meet you and see them as well, and hopefully they'll see beforehand. But also online, how can we get to your
I have a photo website called Glorious Harbor Photos, inspired by the quote that if you follow your star, I think it says, you'll find a glorious harbor. So it's gloriousharborphotos.com.
Great.
And I love to share my work with people, and if anything inspires them, I'd love for them to let me know, because that's what it's all about.
Then it absolutely is that reciprocity, as it were, between those that are viewing and yourself as well. And how about your writing? You're a phenomenal journalist. I know you love to write. And do you ever find, that you are, let's see, what's the word, inspired to write based on your photographs?
Yes, very much so. There are times when I will be on a photo, I call them photo walks or photo journeys during the day, and I'll go home at night and I'll look at my pictures and think, I need to capture this in words too. And so sometimes a photo I've taken will inspire me to put something into words. A great example of that, especially for the newspaper, last year I went to the volleyball finals and caught a match between another division's team prior to the Barnstable game. And there was this amazing girl who was playing with such heart and ferocity. And I just trained my camera on her, and she had one of the best winning reactions I've ever seen. And it inspired a column about her passion and her genuine joy in winning. It wasn't lost on her, and it was such an exciting moment, and I was thrilled to capture it.
I love hearing that. I'm sure that happens quite often. And again, for our viewers, they can certainly not only on your website see that, but weekly in the Barnstable Patriot as well, because you cover the school sports as well as other stories as well, those human interest stories. That
a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. So it's wonderful to have you in both, represented both here personally, as well as be able to check in with you every week in the Patriot.
It's very exciting. I'm very blessed.
Well, Kat, thank you so much for coming again. Her photos are on view here at the Town Hall hearing room and in the Selectmen's conference room right through January 18th, so be sure to come and take a peek, as well as visit her website. Again, that is
gloriousharborphotos.com.
Great. For Kat Szmit and Melissa Chartrand, wishing you an artful day.
And again, that artwork is on display right now in the Town Hall hearing room and the Selectmen's conference room. You can come stop by and check it out anytime. Kat will be holding a closing reception on Friday, January 18th from 3 to 5 p.m. The public is invited to stop by and say hello.